In this video, we take our dog to Joshua Tree and it wasn't as dog friendly as we thought.
So if you're a dog owner looking to take your dog to Joshua Tree, then this video is for you.
We'll be sharing our experience so you can save time and money.
And we'll be sharing also the top mistakes that people make when they bring their dog to Joshua Tree so you can avoid them too.
So now, let's get right into the video. What's up everyone, my name is Brad.
And I'm Angela.
And this is Bodhi, the traveling wiener dog.
So we've been traveling with our dog full time now for over a year. We've been to 8 countries and 35 cities together and counting, of course. We're always adding to our list. Today, we're gonna go over everything you need to know before taking your dog to Joshua Tree.
First off, what is Joshua Tree? Who is Joshua and what is so special about this tree? Well, Joshua Tree is actually a park and it's in Southern California between Palm Springs and Coachella Valley. It's home to a variety of plants and animals, including the Joshua Tree, which is what the park is named after. The park is known for its stunning rock formations, which makes it a popular spot for climbing, hiking, and camping. Dogs are allowed at the park, but with certain restrictions. If you're bringing your dog to Joshua Tree, you're gonna wanna know what the main attractions are, right? Well, here's our list of the main things to do with your dog.
The first most popular activity to do at Joshua Tree is hiking. But there is a caveat with this, and watch till the end or to the section where we talk about the top mistakes to learn more about this caveat. To continue on to the top most popular dog trails in Joshua Tree, the Oasis of Mara, the Keys View Trail. There are only these 2 that are dog friendly. Remember, you must always keep your dog leashed when you're bringing them on the trails. You must also make sure that your dog is not venturing out into the backcountry. And then also when you're visiting the Joshua Tree Oasis Center, dogs are not allowed inside. So those are the 3 main rules that you have to apply when bringing your dog on any of these hiking trails.
There are several campgrounds in Joshua Tree that allow dogs. Some of our favorites include Jumbo Rocks, Indian Cove, and Cottonwood. Please remember that your dog needs to be leashed at all times at these campsites.
Stargazing is an absolute must when going to Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree is actually an international dark sky park, which means it has some of the darkest skies in the entire United States. This will give you the best chance of seeing the Milky Way and other faint objects at night. There's plenty of places that you can stargaze at Joshua Tree, but only a select few are dog friendly.
These are our 2 recommended dog-friendly locations where you can stargaze in Joshua Tree. The first is Keys View. Keys View is at an elevation of 5,100 feet and it offers stunning views of the Coachella Valley and the Salton Sea. The second is the White Tank Campground. White Tank Campground is located in a remote area of Joshua Tree and it's a great way to escape the crowds. It's also really good for hiking and camping. No matter where you choose to stargaze, we're sure you're gonna have a memorable experience.
We also stargazed at our Airbnb in Yucca Valley. When we went, the Milky Way was so clear. It was beautiful. It looked like a river of stars. It was gorgeous. And we were also really lucky because we went there during a full moon. And so the moon's crater and mountains just look so pronounced. Like you can just touch them. You could reach out and touch them. And now I kind of understand why people say like the moon looks like cheese because you kind of see the holes. Anyways,
I can see it.
It was an unforgettable experience. And we truly felt so inspired and just connected to the natural world.
Tips for stargazing. You want to dress warm. It gets cold in Joshua Tree really fast, so you want to make sure you layer up. The second, bring binoculars or bring a telescope. Binoculars or telescope will allow you to see the stars in more detail.
And then also be patient. It takes about 30 minutes for your eyes to adjust to the darkness. So if you're not seeing them super clearly when you first sit down, just wait about 30 minutes and we promise it will be a huge difference. And lastly, watch out and be mindful of the wildlife. National parks like Joshua Tree, they are the way they are because of all the preservation efforts from the park itself, and we want you to make sure that you're following the rules so you're not disturbing any of the creatures that come out at night, and also you're not disturbing any kind of wildlife around. So the best way to do this is just to be discreet, be quiet as possible, and not to litter the place.
Next thing to do in Joshua Tree is to watch the sunset and the sunrise. Combination of the mountains and the sandy desert produces some of the most gorgeous cotton candy skies that you'll ever see. It's so vibrant and alive that it will make you feel like you're right out of a painting. If you're willing to wake up early, then the sunrise is definitely worth it. The sunset is also really beautiful, but it gets a little bit more crowded depending on where you're at. Here's a few other touristy things to do in Joshua Tree. Check out the Invisible House in Joshua Tree. It's a mirror glass house that blends in beautifully with the desert landscape. It's not technically open to the public, but you can still see it from the road. Next are the Cabazon dinosaurs. It's a roadside attraction in Cabazon, California, which features 2 enormous steel and concrete dinosaurs standing at 65 feet tall.
And then you can also visit Pioneer Town. It's like this old Western style town that was built for movies back in like the 60s or 50s or something like that. But it's still pretty much intact, and there's still like restaurants there that are open, and it's really cool to go and just kind of like feel like you're part of that history or back on like a movie set even. Yes. And then lastly is Palm Springs, which I think is the most typical thing that most people do is they go to Palm Springs and Joshua Tree in kind of one trip. They're about 45 minutes to an hour away, depending on traffic. But Palm Springs is more of this hub that you can go and eat good food, stay at a spa, things like that. And so Joshua Tree is more of a natural nature park. And Palm Springs would be more of that city life. So you can kind of get 2 for 1 within the same vicinity as each other.
And we also put together a Palm Springs dog-friendly vlog. So if you want to go check that out, we'll link the video somewhere here.
So next, we're gonna go into the dog-friendly hotels and accommodations in Joshua Tree. But before we do that, please subscribe to our channel if you found any value in it, or hit that like button to really just show support. We always appreciate every comment, and Bodhi also loves it. So do we book an Airbnb or do we book a hotel? What is the better accommodation for your dog? Of course, you have more room when you're booking with an Airbnb, but typically the Airbnbs that are directly within Joshua Tree are far and few. And also they're more pricey. You're looking at probably booking around Yucca Valley in terms of Airbnb being more affordable and also having that space that you would like for your dog to run around. But it is further away from the Joshua Tree National Park and the campsite itself. There are hotels as well that are closer, and then there's also the campsites that are located within the park itself. There are only a few campsites that are dog friendly.
So Cocopelli's is one of the 2 campgrounds that are dog friendly in Joshua Tree. It's more of the budget friendly option. It costs only $10 to bring your dog per night, and it's located just outside of the park in Joshua Tree. Next is Joshua Tree TP Village. It's located just right outside of the park, and it offers a variety of cabins and teepees. And the best part, dogs stay for free.
Next is the 28 Palms Ranch. So this is a mix of camping and a hotel. It's also known as glamping. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with it. There are 7 air-conditioned rooms that you can stay with your dog for free. Each room features a kitchenette with a coffee maker and a tea maker as well. So it's really great, and they also have on-site parking. Next is the Inn at Joshua Tree. The Inn at Joshua Tree is a stunning area because it's located within the national park itself. So you get incredible views of Joshua Tree at night and during the day. Dogs are welcome here for an additional $50 a night. And lastly, the Ritz-Carlton at Rancho Mirage. So this is a 5-star, top of the line, beautiful hotel and resort. It has a spa, golf courses, restaurants that you can take your dog to as well. Dogs do have to pay a hefty price here at $100 a night for your stay.
But you'll be living your best life.
100%. The Ritz-Carlton is located just right outside the national park though, so keep that in mind if you're looking to book here.
So here are a few random tips and recommendations. There's little to no reception in Joshua Tree, so it's best to download all your hiking and camping locations on Google Maps before you actually get there. Next is renting a car. So there's also little to no Ubers and taxis in Joshua Tree. If you're not staying in Joshua Tree proper, it's best to rent a car if you want to get around. And last is the parking pass. So this is something that we didn't actually know, but you need a parking pass to actually get into the national park. And the great thing about it is that it's good for 2 entrances in the same season. So now, here are the top mistakes that people make when they're bringing their dog to Joshua Tree. The first is taking your dog to Joshua Tree in the summertime. The weather can get anywhere up to 115 to 130 degrees, and your dog can easily overheat, so you want to be very cautious about that. The next is assuming that all hiking trails and campsites are dog friendly in Joshua Tree, which is not true. We'll list on the screen here which ones are dog friendly and which ones aren't.
Another top mistake is thinking that you can leave your dog in the car. Even if it's an electric vehicle, it's illegal to leave your dog in your car when visiting Joshua Tree. If there are hiking trails or routes or things that you want to do that are not dog friendly, then it's best that you just leave your dog back at the hotel or at the Airbnb while you venture out without them. Last mistake that most people make is booking their accommodations too far from the natural park. The park is spread out as it is already, and also the daylight hours are shorter at Joshua Tree. If your accommodations are booked too far, then you may miss out ultimately on a lot of the main attractions and the natural beauty that is Joshua Tree.
Ultimately, we believe you should take your dog to Joshua Tree. Even though most trails are not dog friendly, there are a few designated trails and sites that are pet friendly.
Joshua Tree is a stunning place to take your dog. It's a gorgeous park and there's so much things to do and see. It would be like something that you would like regret if you don't bring your dog, honestly, I think. But there are a few precautions to keep your dog safe when you're taking them to a national park like Joshua Tree. So the first is like making sure you bring plenty of water, and then that you're also mindful of the wildlife, because there are a lot of rattlesnakes, wild animals out there that could potentially harm your dog. Other little things like the cactus, thorns, sharp rocks, and things like that. So just being aware of your surroundings and watching over your dog as they roam around. Last thing is just avoiding the backcountry and other unpaved roads where dogs are not allowed. We've seen a few different dog owners bring their dogs on unpaved roads and kind of just not following the natural park's guidance. That is 100% your discretion, up to you, but we don't recommend it because there are so many things out there that can potentially harm your dog.
It's just not worth the risk.
Yeah,
so don't put your dog's health or safety in danger. The sky and the stars in Joshua Tree are unreal.
Unreal.
And no picture or video will do its justice. We 100% recommend seeing in person with your dog.
100%. You will not forget it. But thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more dog-friendly travel videos.